David Platt is a well-known pastor, author, and speaker who is known for his strong dedication to global missions and the gospel. His life's work has been to promote a deeper understanding of faith, discipleship, and social justice, inspiring many people and congregations around the world. This essay looks at Platt's early life and the beliefs that have shaped his ministry. David was born on July 11, 1979, in Birmingham, Alabama. He grew up in a Christian home that gave him a strong faith foundation. From a young age, Platt was exposed to the teachings of the Bible and the principles of Christianity, which set the stage for his spiritual journey. He made a commitment to Christ at a young age. They changed his worldview and inspired him to serve in the church. Realizing his calling to ministry, Platt went to college to prepare himself for the challenges of pastoral leadership. He earned his bachelor's degree at the University of Georgia. His time there not only deepened his understanding of, not only did they teach him academic information, but they also exposed him to different ideas and perspectives. This experience helped him understand the world and the role of faith in solving societal problems. After finishing his undergraduate studies, Platt continued his education at the New Orleans Baptist Theological Seminary, where he earned a Master of Divinity and then a Doctor of Philosophy and Theology. Platt's education gave him a strong theological background and a deep understanding of biblical principles. It also helped him get ready for a life of preaching, teaching, and leading others on their spiritual journeys. David Platt's journey as a pastor has been marked by a deep commitment to discipleship and global missions. In 2006, he became the pastor of the church at Brook Hills Inn. Platt's time at the church at Brook, Alabama was a turning point that set the stage for a life-changing ministry. While he was in charge, the church grew incredibly and became known for putting a strong emphasis on living out the Christian faith in deep and meaningful ways. Hills started in 2006 when he was asked to lead the group. From the start, Platt's goal was to build a community of believers who valued real discipleship and a commitment to global missions. With his help, the church was able to do both. Church membership and influence in the wider Christian community grew significantly. Platt put in place a number of programs and initiatives meant to engage church members in meaningful ways. He emphasized the importance of small groups and Bible studies, encouraging members to deepen their understanding of the Bible and build personal relationships with each other. This focus on community created a space where people felt free to live out their faith in an honest way. Platt's dedication to missions also turned Brook Hills into a center for global outreach. He encouraged the church to work on mission projects both in the United States and other countries. Through partnerships with missionaries in groups around the world, the church got its people involved in important social issues. This hands-on approach not only grew the church's reach, but it also deepened the faith of those who took part as they saw firsthand how serving others could change their lives. In 2010, Platt wrote a book called Radical: Taking Back Your Faith from the American Dream. Radical Platt questions the common idea of the American dream and what it means for Christian faith. He says that seeking comfort in material things can take Christians' attention away from their true calling to follow Christ and make disciples. The book asks readers to think about these things. The cost of discipleship, stressing that true faith often requires sacrifice and a willingness to leave one's comfort zone. Radical had an effect that went far beyond its publication. It started a movement among Christians who wanted to live out their faith honestly, and it led to conversations about what it means to be a disciple in a. Platt's focus on the global mission of the church inspired many to get involved in mission work, whether it was through prayer, giving money, or doing service projects themselves. Platt's work at the church at Brook Hills and his writing in Radical have made him a major voice in the conversation about the church's role in modern society. He challenges the idea that faith, advocating instead for a radical, selfless approach to discipleship. Platt's message speaks to a generation of believers who want a faith that isn't just about them, but also about loving God and serving others. Platt's focus on missions also fits with the growing awareness in the church about how important it is to deal with global problems like poverty, injustice, and human trafficking. By pushing for a holistic understanding of the gospel, he encourages believers to see how their faith is connected to the world around them. One's point of view can not only change their own life, but it can also have an effect on whole communities and countries. In 2014, David Platt was named president of the International Mission Board (IMB), a key position that gave him the power to shape the direction of global missions in the Southern Baptist Convention and beyond. The IMB has been led by people who are deeply committed to getting the church more involved in global missions and who are also passionate about fighting for social justice. When David Platt took over as head of the IMB, he saw that the organization needed to be revitalized right away because it had been having problems. He tried to refocus the IMB's mission on the Great Commission, stressing how important it was to get churches involved in following Christ's command to make disciples of all nations. Platt's leadership style was marked by a desire to inspire and equip church members to see themselves as active participants in God's mission. Platt started a number of programs to help churches get involved. One of his main goals was to get more missionaries sent out by Southern Baptist churches so that a new generation of believers would feel called to serve in missions. While he was in charge, the IMB focused on reaching people groups that haven't been reached yet because they knew they needed to share the gospel. The gospel with people who hadn't heard it yet by giving these groups top priority. Platt encouraged churches to think globally and to take seriously their duty to share the message of Christ with the world. In addition to sending more missionaries, Platt worked to improve their training and support. He stresses the need for comprehensive training programs that would equip missionaries. By giving missionaries the skills and cultural knowledge they needed to work with diverse communities, Platt hoped to make the IMB's work more effective and make sure that missionaries were ready to deal with the difficult problems they might face. Platt was also a strong supporter of. As head of the IMB, Platt stressed the importance of caring for the disadvantaged and oppressed, knowing that the gospel must be paired with a commitment to social action. Platt's view was based on a full understanding of the gospel, which includes both spiritual transformation and practical help for those in need. Platt urged believers to deal with problems like poverty and human trafficking. Platt pushed for social justice and challenged the church to speak up for those who don't have one. He also said that the church's job isn't just to spread the gospel, but to show Christ's love through acts of kindness and service. Platt's work for social justice encouraged churches to work with local groups and David Platt's leadership at the IMB and his support for social justice have big effects on the church and its mission. His approach challenges traditional ideas of missions, pushing the church to do more than just preach the gospel. Platt's focus on holistic ministry encourages believers to see their faith as a call to love and serve both God and neighbor. Platt's vision especially speaks to younger Christians who care more and more about social justice issues. His work has inspired many to think about how their faith affects things like. He talks about issues like poverty, inequality, and human trafficking to encourage the church to stay relevant and responsive to the needs of the world while staying true to its mission. David Platt is a pastor and leader at the International Mission Board (IMB). He is also a popular speaker and author. As a speaker, Platt stresses the importance of being honest in Christian life. Platt challenges people to live out their faith in a way that follows Christ's teachings. He also talks about important issues facing the church today, such as materialism, the call to serve, and the need for urgent global missions. Platt's ability to connect with audiences on a personal level inspires and motivates believers to take their faith seriously and engage with the world around them and follow me a call to die, a call to. Platt's 2013 book, Live, talks about what it means to be a disciple and encourages readers to accept the cost of following Christ. He challenges the idea of a comfortable, consumer-driven faith and tells believers that true discipleship requires sacrifice and a willingness to take up one's cross. Platt stresses that following Jesus means a radical shift in priorities, where the pursuit of comfort is replaced by a commitment to serve others and spread the gospel. This message strikes a chord with many younger people who are looking for a faith that is not only intellectually strong but also transformative in their daily lives. In Something Needs to Change, a call to make your life count in a world of urgency. Published in 2019, Platt talks about the urgent needs of the world and challenges readers to respond to. The book is based on Platt's trek through the Himalayas, where he saw firsthand how hard it is for people to live in poverty and oppression. He thinks about how many Christians in the West have easy lives compared to the hard lives millions of people around the world have. Platt calls for a radical shift in. The evangelical community has been greatly affected by David Platt's writings. He urges believers to take responsibility for global issues and let their faith move them to action. This work shows his dedication to social justice and the idea that faith must be lived out in real ways. These days, especially among younger generations, Platt's focus on real faith discipleship and social justice speaks to people who are unhappy with the way things are and want to learn more about their beliefs. Platt's messages encourage people to be active in both spiritual and. David Platt's ministry has had a huge impact on society, and he is passionate about global mission, discipleship, and social justice. However, along with his public successes, Platt has also had a lot of personal problems and tragedies that have tested his faith and strength. One of the hardest things for him has been dealing with his family, especially his adopted daughter's health problems. This essay talks about the personal problems David Platt and his wife Heather have had, focusing on the emotional toll of dealing with their daughter's medical needs and how that has affected their family dynamics. David Platt and his wife Heather adopted a daughter who was born with a cleft lip and palate. This birth defect usually requires multiple surgeries and ongoing medical care. The decision to adopt was a big one. Everyday life had its own joys and problems, but their daughter's health problems made things even more difficult. The Platt family had to plan not only many surgeries for their daughter, but also a lot of emotional preparation. Each surgery brought worry and fear, as parents naturally worried about the risks and the pain their child would feel. These kinds of experiences can be very hard on parents, especially those who really care about their children's well-being. This journey has not only tested David and Heather Platt's faith, but it has also shown them how vulnerable parents can be. Their daughter's health problems have been a lot of emotional stress, and they have had to rely on each other and their support. As the Platt family deals with the stress and uncertainty that come with their daughter's medical needs, they have likely found strength in their faith, finding comfort in prayer, and the support of their church community. Sharing their experiences and struggles publicly has also helped them connect with others. By being honest about their problems, they've built a sense of community and support among families dealing with health problems in their children. This openness can be a source of comfort for others who may feel alone in their struggles, reminding them that they're not alone. David Platt has kept up with his ministry and outreach work even though he has been going through personal problems. His experiences as a father dealing with health problems may have helped him understand suffering and resilience. Going through personal problems can also help a pastor relate to people who are struggling by giving them a deeper understanding and empathy. Platt's commitment to social justice and global missions is also shaped by his family experiences. Health disparities are complicated, and Platt knows how important it is to speak out for vulnerable groups, like children with medical needs. His support for social justice isn't just theoretical, it comes from his own experiences as a father who has had real problems getting care and support for his child. During his ministry, Platt has lost a number of close friends and mentors who were important to his spiritual and professional growth. Deaths have caused Platt a lot of grief, but they have also helped him think about himself and grow. Each death has been a moment of reckoning that forced him to face the facts of mortality and the shortness of life. Losing friends and mentors can be very hard emotionally. For Platt, these relationships were more than just professional ones, they were deeply personal ones that shaped his faith and understanding of God's will. When someone important in your life dies, it can make you think about your life's purpose, your legacy, and how your life has affected others. Platt's losses have probably made him think about the importance of his relationships, the memories they have given him, and the lessons he has learned from them. These losses have made him think about how short life is and how important it is to live with purpose. In his teachings and writings, he has stressed the need to realizing that life is short and that each moment matters is in line with his call for people to have a radical faith that wants to change the world. Platt's reflections on mortality serve as a reminder that life is not to be taken for granted. Losing friends and mentors has taught me this. He probably learned that relationships, love, and service are the most important things in life. He also knows that the effect someone has on others can last a lifetime, shaping lives and leaving legacies. Knowing this can make one appreciate the people in their life more deeply and make a promise to be there for them, to put money into those relationships. David Platt's own experiences with loss have also shown him how important it is to put money into relationships. In a world full of distractions and busyness, Platt pushes for conscious connections. He knows that making real connections with other people takes time, work, and being open. His focus on discipleship and community within the church shows that he believes this and encourages believers to build real relationships that support spiritual growth and foster community. Pastoral ministry is often seen as a calling that is full of purpose, passion, and deep fulfillment, but it also comes with its own set of challenges and pressures that can take a big toll on mental and emotional health. David Platt has been open about the mental and emotional problems that come with being a leader. The stresses of ministry, along with personal and family problems, have made him look for support and encouragement from his community and other Christians. The stresses of leadership can show up in many forms, leading to feelings of isolation, burnout, and anxiety. Platt, like many pastors, has found that the expectations placed on him by his congregation and the church as a whole have made him feel anxious and isolated. Community or himself can be heavy. This weight can hurt his emotional health, leading to moments of doubt and insecurity about his ability to lead. Also, pastoral work often involves dealing with tough issues like grief, conflict, and moral failings in the church community. Being around other people's pain and struggles can be hard on the soul. Leaders may carry the burdens of the people they serve. Platt's dedication to social justice and standing up for the underprivileged makes his ministry even more difficult as he tries to fix systemic problems while dealing with the emotional effects of his work. On top of the stress of ministry, David Platt has had personal and family problems that have made his mental and emotional problems worse. For example, his teenage daughter's health problems have led to multiple surgeries. These problems have caused a lot of stress in his family life. Dealing with these problems can be emotionally draining for any parent, and Platt's dedication to his family can make him feel even more responsible in his role as a leader. Recognizing the mental and emotional toll of pastoral ministry, David Platt has stressed. He knows how important it is to get support and encouragement from his community and fellow believers. He also knows that leaders don't have to go through their problems alone, but can find strength and healing through relationships in their church and the wider community. Platt's willingness to talk about his problems is a powerful reminder for both other leaders and his congregation. By sharing his own experiences, he encourages others to be open about their own mental and emotional problems. This helps build a culture of support and understanding in the church, which can help break down stereotypes. The shame that is often attached to mental health problems in faith communities makes it easier for people to get help without fear of being judged. Platt's willingness to get help from other believers shows how important community is to the healing process. By asking for help, leaders can find support and encouragement, reminding them that they are not alone in their struggles. This connection can give them a sense of belonging and give them practical tools for dealing with the problems they face. David Platt's journey shows that he stayed true to his calling, even when he faced big personal and professional problems. His experiences of loss, struggle, and resilience have. Through his support for global missions and discipleship, Platt inspires and encourages others on their faith journeys. He stresses the importance of faith in getting through hard times and reminds believers that being a true disciple often means leaving their comfort zones and getting involved with the. Platt's life continues to have an effect on the evangelical community and serves as a beacon of hope for people who are going through their own problems. In the end, David Platt's legacy is one of faith, resilience, and a relentless pursuit of God's mission in a world that badly needs hope and healing.